President Uhuru Kenyatta is a very bitter man. The president is very angry with his deputy William Samoei Ruto. And I've maintained on this platform that if the president had a loophole in the constitution, he would have kicked out his deputy and replaced him with someone else. But because he can't do anything, the president is expressing his anger to the deputy president through his allies. And that's why he's been very ruthless to the allies of the DP, both in Jubilee Party and in Parliament. In Jubilee Party, the president has kicked out anybody who is allied to the deputy president. And the remaining ones are going to be kicked out, if not this week, then next week. The president has also been very ruthless to the allies of the deputy president in Parliament. Susan Kihika went. Kipchumba Murkomen went. Kithure Kindiki went. Shirley Ben went. And Eden Duale also went. But one question which Kenyans have been asking themselves is one: which political mistake did the deputy president commit to warrant that kind of anger from the president? So today I want to explain to you 6 mistakes which the deputy president committed against the president and why the president is very angry with him. But before we do that, if you are watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, hit the subscribe button so that next time we produce a similar video, you get notified by YouTube. Now back to the main issue. Why is the president very bitter and angry with his deputy? Before we go into that, because I want to go straight to the point. One of the deputy president's key allies, who was also kicked out of the cabinet by the president, Mwangi Kiunjuri, has launched a new political party, has unveiled actually a new political party today. And from where I am, it's actually the URP party, which is rebranding. So that's going to be my next video immediately after this. Now back to the main issue. What mistakes did the deputy president commit? These were guys who are famously or fondly referred to as the dynamic duo. They promised to support each other 2017, 2022, 2027, and 2032. But from all indications, the president and the deputy president are worlds apart. So what mistakes did the deputy president commit? In my view, the first mistake the deputy president committed was the failure to support the handshake. President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga contested the 2017 general election. William Ruto was not a candidate, he was a running mate. And none other than the deputy president once told the people of Kisumu that for him, he will look for their votes in 2022 because he was not opponent of Raila Odinga. So when, after that election, the president, in his own wisdom, decided to look for Raila Odinga, have a handshake, and in my view, the president probably just wanted a united country because the country was divided right in the middle. He wanted peace to prevail. So he reached out to Raila Odinga. The deputy president refused to support that handshake. And in my view, I think that's where the biggest mistake, the first mistake the deputy president committed. Because assuming the deputy president had agreed to support this handshake fully, because by that time, I don't think, even if they had issues and problems amongst themselves, the problem would still have been, there was still the remote chance of those problems being sorted out. So the mere fact that the deputy president refused immediately, I think the president managed to cement the relationship with Raila Odinga and felt now comfortable with Raila Odinga than his deputy. In fact, if you've been in this country during that handshake time, initial stages, most Kenyans believed that the president was actually playing Raila Odinga. So had the deputy president supported the handshake, his bond with Uhuru Kenyatta would have still existed. They would have managed to play around with Raila Odinga as part of the game and even decided to should change him at a later date. But from all indications, that's now not possible. So if the deputy president had supported the handshake, then the president would have had no excuse whatsoever of dumping his deputy. Because of that handshake, the deputy president mobilized people, his supporters, to oppose that handshake, number one. Number two, which I think is also the biggest mistake the deputy president committed, was to engineer a rebellion against the president, specifically in central Kenya. The president can allow any other place to go, but not central Kenya. Remember, most members of parliament in central Kenya were elected on Jubilee ticket. In 2013, they were elected on TNA ticket, not URP, because of the president. In 2017, they were elected on Jubilee because of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But now, because the deputy president suspected that the president might not support him, and he was not supporting the handshake, he started creating a rebellion, funding members of parliament, including even governors and some senators, to rebel against the president. And if you study the president's latest actions, it's actually geared towards dealing with that particular rebellion in central Kenya. People like Makwiny had to go because they were rebelling against the president. Remember, the deputy president embarked on a journey of consolidating central Kenya. While doing that, the deputy president forgot one thing, that the president still was the leader in that region. So that rebellion angered the president, and the president is dealing with it. And that's why you are seeing people like people now from central Kenya now coming back to Jubilee Party, the side of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The third mistake, and this one the president was very clear on, early campaigns. So why was the deputy president embarking on an early campaign, by the way? We had just completed the elections. In my view, the best strategy for the deputy president would have been to wait and see. Try help the president achieve some of the promises, because there's no way you can separate President Uhuru Kenyatta and the deputy president. There is no way when it comes to Jubilee rule, the 10 years. So if the president has failed, the deputy has failed. But the deputy president embarked on early campaign. The president told him, please allow me work. Your time will come. I'll support you. And I'm also on record on this platform that I believe the president has not said anywhere that he's not going to support his deputy. So there was no need for that early campaigns. Although the deputy president and his allies argued that the president also embarked on early campaigns immediately after he was elected for his second term. Number 3 is what I can call central Kenya politics. If you follow Jubilee politics, not even Jubilee politics, let's start with Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki. In 2007, the country was united against central Kenya. Then Mwai Kibaki, in his own wisdom, elevated Uhuru Kenyatta and appointed Uhuru Kenyatta deputy prime minister. Uhuru Kenyatta, the previous year in 2002, was the KANU presidential candidate. So Uhuru Kenyatta was now being appointed the deputy prime minister of the Republic of Kenya at the expense of Martha Karua, the only man standing during Kibaki era, the lady who was the only man who saved Mwai Kibaki, because Raila had won. And that explains the difference between Martha Karua and Kibaki and now Uhuru Kenyatta. Then Uhuru Kenyatta ended up becoming the president. And for Uhuru to become the president of the Republic of Kenya, the people of central Kenya had to be sold a narrative that Raila Odinga was a bad man, that they needed to unite to protect the presidency from leaving the House of Mumbi. So the system then managed to get William Ruto out of ODM. And now the entire country was with Raila Odinga. The rest were now with these people. And Mutahi Ngunyi had to coin the tyranny of numbers to aid in the rigging of President Uhuru Kenyatta by claiming that the two tribes were capable of winning. So Uhuru Kenyatta managed to hold the Kikuyu nation together in 2013. In 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta had to go extra mile to even bring on board the Cambridge Analytica to develop anti-Raila Odinga messages in central Kenya. And up to now, there are people in central Kenya who believe that Raila Odinga is not a human being, he's a devil. So Uhuru Kenyatta was the leader in central Kenya. Then, now the deputy president coming and trying to take over control of that central Kenya politics. To an extent that between 2018, up to a few months ago, the deputy president was actually calling the shots. He had the most number of members of parliament supporting him. MCS was supporting the deputy president. Governors were supporting the deputy president. So Uhuru Kenyatta, who was the leader of the people of central Kenya, was now a bad man, a failure, a man who could not take care of the interest of the people of central Kenya. That angered the president. And the president now decided, okay, if this is what you want, watch I koe. So the president embarked on dismantling William Ruto out of central Kenya. Up to now, I still don't know whether he has succeeded. But from all indications, members of parliament who are allied to the deputy president from central Kenya are now countable. You can count them. Even the vocal ones, people like Moses Kuria, are now a bit slow. They are not hard as they used to be. So the deputy president, if in my view the deputy president wanted to inherit central Kenya, of course he knew so well that the Kikuyu leadership, the Mount Kenya mafia, had actually created a narrative of anti-Raila Odinga. So he wanted to sustain that for his campaigns and his politics. But he ought to have waited. In my view, the deputy president ought to have waited for Uhuru Kenyatta, seek for his permission, and then take over. Or he could have then decided to go to central Kenya via Uhuru Kenyatta. But here is a man going to someone's territory, wants to take it by force, then at the same time, a man who was even taken to Hague for sponsoring a group of people, the Mungiki, just to protect the community. You don't want to tell this man that he has done nothing for these people. So Uhuru is very angry with that. And lastly is interest. Interest. Political interest. Politicians who value their interest. Politics is all about interest. And not your interest, not any other person's interest. It's about personal interest. Uhuru Kenyatta, first of all, must ensure that his personal interest, political interests, are taken care of. The deputy president entered into a coalition agreement with the president. They formed various parties. They formed the government. In the agreement, the deputy president became the deputy president. President Uhuru Kenyatta became the president of the Republic of Kenya. 10 years they are doing. Then, this case was supposed to continue. Ruto is to pick for another 10 years. But where is Ruto placing President Uhuru Kenyatta's interest? Where? Is it through Moses Kuria, a man who is insulting the president? Is it through Mwangi Kiunjuri, a man the president has fired? Is it through Alice Wahome, a lady insulting and abusing the president? Or is it through Kimani Ichung'wah, a man who doesn't have time for the president? The best approach for the deputy president would have been to stop any discussion about 2022 presidential bid, especially on how the seats are going to be divided or divided between them. Then let ask the president, now that, Mr. President, now that you are going home and I'm going to become the president, do you have someone in mind for me to help? So Uhuru, I would have told him, for me, my son is now coming of age. Ukichukua hii kiti, I want you to make him a cabinet secretary. Or I want my son to be a member of parliament in one of the constituencies, either in Central or in Nairobi. Or I want so-and-so, or my brother, or my cousin. Or I want to leave this seat in the hand of a capable person from Central Kenya. A person who would take care of my interest. And the president would have told him, because I don't see any other person, I want to remain on power. But you become the president, how are you going to make me powerful? So I'm going to make you blah, 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 blah. Or if need be, we have to change the constitution. He didn't do that. So Raila Odinga came in the picture, told the president, Rais, we ni ndugu yangu. Mimi, I'm old. Wewe ni kijana, wewe unaenda nyumbani. Huwezi niachia kiti. So ukiniachia hii kiti, lazima ukae mahali because wewe ndio umekuwa ukiongoza. So tuangalie kwa katiba. Wewe uko na supporters, I have supporters. Let us look at this constitution. How can we do it? So let's bring on board a prime minister post. Mimi nikuwe president, wewe ukuwe prime minister. Then country endelee. So Uhuru bought that because now Raila is serving his political interest. Political interest. Something which the deputy president was not doing. In fact, the deputy president was engineering a rebellion against the president in his own backyard. And lastly, because that was the fifth point, lastly, I think the deputy president undermined the president in so many ways. There's no way you can make members of parliament swear their allegiance to you and not the president. There is no way you can be in a political party and you claim kuna faction huko, kuna faction here. Na wewe ndio kuna watu wengi. You even, some of them, they are the president, bring it on, baby, bring it on. So that's undermining the president. There is no way you can go and launch projects where funds have not been allocated. There is no way the president can start fight against corruption. Then you appear to be defending that fight, opposing the fight against corruption. There is no way the president can bring others into part of his legacy to achieve his legacy, which is uniting the country. Then you oppose. So the deputy president undermined the president. I don't know what you think, but in my view, those are the 6 grave mistakes which the deputy president committed, and the president is very angry with him. Thank you guys, and if you are watching this video for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to check vuguvugu.com vuguvugu.com for any latest and trending news in this country. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Without your support, this channel cannot be where it is now. So I want you to continue helping me create interactions the way you normally do, by either giving the video thumbs up if you like it, or thumbs down. From there, I'll be able to know whether the video was good or bad. And again, you can also share the video to your friends, WhatsApp, Facebook, any other place. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.